I am here at Belmont Station here in Chicago, Illinois on the Red, Purple, and Brown line trains. And today we are going to be exploring the 4 newly renovated Red Line stations. While we wait for our Red Line train to go up north, I'll explain a little bit about this project. So these stations were renovated that we're going to visit as part of the Berwyn and Bryn Mawr Modernization project, which is part of phase 1 of the Red-Purple Modernization project. Now, another part of phase 1 was this junction here. This is Clark Junction, just north of the Belmont Station, and that is the Red-Purple flyover. That allows the Brown Line trains to fly over the Red and Purple Line trains to prevent causing delays, which was a problem in the past. So this is part of phase 1 as well as further north, which we're going to check out in just a minute. We've just made it to Lawrence, our very first station. Are you ready to see what it looks like? As you just saw, that is the new Lawrence Station. So a little bit of history about Lawrence Station. Lawrence Station opened in 1923, and in 1995, the original station house was demolished. Now, this led for the station to kind of be like the mezzanine was located within like a chain link fence. So it felt like a very temporary solution, and it only took 3 decades before they built a nice new Lawrence Station. Now, as you just saw, this station is very clean, colorful. The mezzanine was really cool. A lot of art. There's art at all the stations, so you'll see those in a couple seconds. There's an elevator. See? Elevator. So this station is accessible along with all the other ones, which is just moving CTA one step closer to making every station in the system accessible. So now we're going to head to the next station, one stop north, being Argyle. Here we are at Argyle, which is our next station. Now, before I show you the station, there's something cool I want to show you. And we're at the north end of the platform. If I just turn around, you can see a platform behind me. Now, that was the temporary station. So they opened a temporary Argyle station because they didn't want to close all 4 stations, which would leave a large gap between Thorndale and Wilson. So they had Bryn Mawr and Argyle, they had temporary stations for them. Now, obviously, this station literally opened yesterday, so they haven't torn down the old ones yet, and trains still have to switch tracks to this middle track because the temporary platform was built on what would be the Howard-bound Red Line track. Now, I'm going to show you the station. This train behind me is actually wrapped for the Red-Purple Modernization. You can see the purple and the red. So this was the train that ran on the inaugural runs yesterday. This station opened in 1908 and had minor renovations here or there. Most notably in the 1990s, a pagoda was added on the roof to pay homage to the Asia on Argyle neighborhood located at this station. Now, the pagoda was not restored and is not here on the roof currently, but a lot of the artwork within the station pays homage to the neighborhood. Now, actually downstairs in the mezzanine, there was a couple of news crews down there because this is quite a fairly monumental moment. These stations are quite old, or at least they were old, but now they're nice and fresh. Now we're gonna head to our next station, which is Berwyn. Here we are at Berwyn Station. This station is the second to last station we'll be visiting today. You ready to see what it looks like? I'm down on the ground for this one, but part of this project removed the embankment, which is where the trains used to sit on, which is basically a big berm that the trains would have run on. But now they've replaced it with a large elevated structure. Now, you can actually go under the elevated structure, and they're planning to put community spaces, areas where people can gather and hang out underneath these trains, like markets, parks, places for people to hang out to really bring communities together, which is another part of this project. Now, this station opened in 1916 and was known as Edgewater Beach. Now, this station has also gone through many renovations and obviously been renamed to Berwyn, but one of the most notable renovations was in 2012 when most stations on the Red Line north of Wilson got renovated. This was to kind of give them a little overhaul, a little bit of life support to keep them going until they would be fully renovated to look like this. Now we're going to be heading to our last station, that is Bryn Mawr. Here we are at the furthest north station we'll be visiting today, and the last station of this project, Bryn Mawr. This station opened in 1908. Now, part of this renovation also added a secondary entrance at Hollywood Avenue. So there's an entrance at Hollywood Avenue and at Bryn Mawr. Now, we've made it to Bryn Mawr, which is the last station of this project. So what's next? So this was part of phase 1 of the Red-Purple Modernization project, and now CTA is looking at future phases. Now, of course, they haven't announced any plans yet, and quite honestly, it might be a little while before they do. But the portions that they're looking to renovate include Addison to Sheridan, between Belmont and Wilson, and then from Thorndale, just north of here, all the way up to Howard, and from Howard on the Purple Line up to Linden. So they're looking to redo the entire line from Linden all the way down to the Belmont station. And there might be further projects south of there. But their goal is to create new accessible stations while also rebuilding the trackways to a new concrete structure that trains can move a lot faster on, like this. It's a more comfortable ride, more smooth ride. This is really going to benefit the neighborhoods here at this station, the other 3 stations, and future stations along the line. Signing off from Bryn Mawr, thank you guys for watching the video. Subscribe if you liked it and hit the like button. I'll see you guys next time.